What's up guys, Brendan Hancock here with another episode of Groove Subaru today, and yes, it is finally here, the all-new 2019 Subaru Forester. Now this is the 22nd year of the Subaru Forester and the 5th generation overall, making this an all-new, complete redesigned Subaru Forester for 2019. Now this is the first Subaru Forester to be built on the all-new Global platform, which is literally the greatest thing Subaru has ever done. It has literally taken vehicles that used to be kind of loud and uncomfortable to literally the most comfortable cars that we have. Now a couple, statistics on the Global platform: it has 70% more rigid chassis, it has 50% less body roll, and 40% better energy absorption, which make it not only significantly more fun and comfortable to drive, but also safer. Now, this is the 2.5i trim level of the Forester, and it's one of 5 trim levels available for 2019. You can have the 2.5i, which is the base model, the 2.5i Premium, the 2.5i Sport, which is new for 2019, the 2.5i Limited, and this, the 2.5i Touring, which is the absolute top of the line. Now, a couple of things that you can see here that really spot out a Touring trim level over some of the other ones here. You're gonna have more chrome throughout, and that kind of goes across the board with other vehicles in Subaru's lineup that have a Touring trim level. If you've seen our videos on the Ascent, the Touring Ascent has those same kind of satin chrome side mirrors that you see there. That's an easy way to kind of spot it from a distance. We're going to see these steering responsive LED headlights here, and we're also going to have the chrome accents on the bottom. That's also a telltale sign that it is a Touring trim level. Now, some of the design elements we're going to see here are really carried over a lot from the Ascent, and these vehicles that are going on the Global platform are very much starting to look more and more similar. We still have sort of the boxy appearance that the Forester's always been known for, the excellent visibility, but overall they're kind of giving a lot of the same design elements that we see here. So definitely a different front fascia here. We are going to have a different kind of design down here. I do believe that we have slightly better approach angles, so for those of you that are going to be taking this kind of off-road, this is the most capable Forester ever with an all-new xMode system with different driving modes for off-road as well. Now, one of the biggest things that's different for 2019 is going to be the engine here. We've got a completely modified version of the same 2.5i engine that we had in here previously, but we're going to see a little bit of a boost in the horsepower up to 182 horsepower. Unfortunately, no more turbo or manual transmission, which for a lot of our enthusiasts is kind of a downside, but I did take this out for a drive today. All of them do come standard with SI drive, and on the Sport trim level, you actually get the Sport Sharp driving mode, which is the most fun to drive with the best acceleration there. So that's one of the benefits you get from that. But they've completely modified the engine. We're looking at around 33 miles per gallon on the highway now, and also completely modified the CVT transmission. So this is the newest, best CVT transmission that you can get. It's extremely smooth off the line, quick acceleration. I wouldn't say it's quite there to what the turbo used to be, but we're definitely looking at better fuel economy using regular fuel with this. So for a majority of the buyers out there, 95% if we compare it to a couple years ago, are looking at the non-turbocharged engine. So for a vast majority, I think you guys are going to be very, very pleased with this. Now, if we take a look at the side of the Forester here, one of my favorite elements is how it says Forester right here on the side. I don't think I've ever seen that before on any Subaru vehicle. I think it's really nice. Now, like I said, these are these steering responsive LEDs. Although LED headlights, not necessarily steering responsive, are going to be standard on every Subaru Forester for this year. Also standard, Subaru Eyesight System. Now this has all of the features that iSight comes with, including the blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, the reverse automatic braking. So not all of those features specifically will be standard, but you are going to get the pre-collision braking, the adaptive cruise control, and the lane keep assist on any 2019 Subaru Forester, which is a first for Subaru. So now this being the Touring, we are getting the 18-inch alloy rims that you see here. This is a new redesigned rim. I've already mentioned these side mirrors that you see, very similar to what we're seeing on the 2019 Ascent. And if you look at it, it still has the same appearance of a Forester. I would say someone not super familiar with the vehicle might not even really notice a lot of these changes, but it definitely, if you take a close look, and it might be hard to see on camera, it has a little bit more accentuated angles, kind of gives it a little bit of a feel of its moving through the wind, so to speak. A lot of the similar design elements that we're seeing on the Subaru Ascent specifically. Now, I have noticed too, we have a little bit more cladding here than we used to on the Forester, which is kind of giving it a little bit more of that, cross-trek, outback kind of rugged vibe to it, which I really like. I think this is going to appeal to a lot of people, especially to those that are going to be taking these vehicles off-road. I think they've done a lot to enhance the approach angles in the front and back, and this extra side cladding here just makes it a little bit more rugged. Now, we are going to still have these same massive windows that we have here, giving it excellent visibility that Subaru is known for. We still have that the mirrors off of the A-pillar up here, which give you great visibility up there. And most importantly, this third window in the back is very easy to see out of. It's probably twice the size of many of those third panel mirrors, or windows that we see on a lot of cars today. Now these are a little bit different too. They have been redesigned, they're a little thinner. We also have these loopholes here to help you strap stuff down if you want to. This is a touring, so it does come with the moonroof that we have. And overall, just a really nice, clean design. Still kind of holds on to what we're looking for in the Forester, but just kind of updated and re-envisioned a little bit. Now, if we take a look at the back of the Subaru Forester, we can definitely tell this is a completely new redesign. It still kind of looks like a Forester, but definitely completely refreshed here. We've got what I call the lobster claw taillights here, which is definitely a new design for this 2019 Forester. We still sort of see a general idea of the back here. We still have that same kind of spoiler idea here. A little bit of changes here with the cladding on the sides, and a little bit of a different redesign here, but I do overall believe there are slightly better approach angles than versus 2018 of this car. Now, this is definitely different here with this coloring. This is also plastic here, but we do have the reverse automatic braking, given that this is the touring trim. Now, I said iSight is standard on all Foresters. It is. Not all of them, though, do come with the reverse automatic braking. So starting with the premium trim level and up, it is an optional feature that you can get. So but one of the biggest things, though, a big complaint we used to have with this auto liftgate was the speed at which it opened. And now for 2019, they've made it go up much, much faster. For some of the trim levels, though, it's standard on the touring, but for some of the trim levels, it is an optional feature. So if we take a look at the back here, though, overall, the Forester is not that much bigger for 2019. In fact, in some ways, it's smaller. It's actually almost an inch smaller. It's almost an inch wider, but you're not really noticing those things all that much. The biggest thing, though, is here in the back. This is much, much wider, and it goes much higher here in terms of the width of the opening. So it's much easier to get large, taller items like a dresser or something like that in the back of the car. Huge, huge, huge amount of room here and high height there for you putting larger objects. So we do have the second row folded down here, so you can see you've got quite a bit of room there. But like I said, I don't think it's drastically different in overall size versus 2018. Another cool thing, though, that we do have here, we do have a little hook option here if you want to hang like a little light here or hang something while you're taking a look inside. So just a cool little detail there. But this right here, this lock button, this gives you the ability, so let's say you're unloading the car with groceries and stuff, you can just hit this little lock button and that's going to shut the gate for you and lock the door automatically. So you can just walk away, good to go, and then the doors lock once that shuts. So really cool feature there. I do like that a lot. Now let's take a look in the driver's seat and take a look at the interior features that are new for 2019. Now we're inside of the Subaru Forester, and this is, like I said, the 2.5i Touring. So some of the things that we see here might be a little bit different on different trim levels. Obviously, we have the leather seats here being the top of the line. You can also get the Touring trim level with the brown leather interior, depending on the color option that you choose. But the seat design, though, in terms of the stitching, is very similar to what we're seeing in not only the Ascent, but the Crosstrek, the Impreza, all those cars that are on the Global platform right now. The interior is also kind of carrying over a lot of the design elements from one car to the next. So I'm seeing a ton of similarities in the Ascent, the Crosstrek, the Impreza that are in this car on those vehicles as well. So the stitching pattern, definitely a little bit more comfortable here. We are going to have the powered driver's seat just like we have on the other ones, and last year we had the memory positions too, so we are going to continue that. But one thing that you can see here, the stitching that's up top here is all very similar to those other Global platform cars, and the center stack is carrying over there as well. Now, I do really like these little chrome accents here. They've definitely done some thinking with the center area here. We do have the heated seats. One of the newest things here is the xMode has changed. Now, we've seen xMode on the Forester before. It's been around since, I think, 2015, maybe, something like that. So, but this year they actually have slightly different modes for different conditions. So I would say sometimes, when you're using xMode, you might want to turn off traction control if you're in deep snow or deep mud. Now they actually have a different xMode for that. So if we take a look here, I can kind of turn left here, just like you do on the STI for the SI drive stuff. If I take a left here, this is going to be for snow and dirt, and if I take a right, that's going to be for deep snow and dirt. And it has a really cool graphic up there that you can see with those, Forester in the snow kind of look to it. Now, to get it back to regular drive, I just simply push down, and now it's in regular driving mode. So another cool thing here, we do have the electric parking brake, new for the Forester. We haven't seen that on this car before. And we also have auto vehicle hold, which we have seen on the Ascent exclusively, the 2019 Ascent. So auto vehicle hold is very similar to hill holder, which is a feature we've had before on the Forester. But auto vehicle hold will what it's doing is if you're on like an incline or a decline, if you have your foot on the brake and you take your foot off the brake, it uses the traction stability control and holds you there indefinitely until you put your foot back on the gas. Now, if you, for example, you just wanted to stop and not have to hold your foot on the brake, you could use it in that circumstance. Or if you're doing light off-roading, you can also simply, open the door. It will yell at you, it'll beep at you and stuff, but you can open the door, move a little log or something like that without having to go into park, back into drive, and losing all of that traction. So it is a very, very helpful feature to use, and check out our video, we did it with the Ascent, kind of demonstrated that for you. Now, as for the climate control that we're seeing here, we do have dual automatic climate control, given that this is a Touring. We're now seeing the sync button here, just like we see on a lot of our other cars, like the Ascent and the Outback even. So this is kind of similar to what we're seeing on the Outback in terms of the controls here, and we are going to get the digital display up there on that 5.7-inch digital display. But we do have that dual ability to control both sides if you want to, and now we do actually also have the vents in the back, which is a first for a Forester. We've got heated seats in the back, we've got USB ports in the back, and vents, which you guys have been asking for so long, it's kind of ridiculous that we're just getting to it now. So as for the steering wheel here, looks very much like the one on the Ascent. I know I've been saying that constantly, but it is true. A lot of that stuff's carrying over onto this car. It looks a little bit smaller. The steering is definitely a little bit shorter of a steering ratio here. And the design element's very similar to what I'm seeing on the Outback currently right now. But like I said, we do have the SI drive. So all of the Foresters will come with SI drive, and what that does, if you haven't watched some of our other videos on that, it's controlling really the throttle response, and also at what RPM the car shifts at, and also at what how frequently it's going through the gears there. I say gears, this is CVT. Now this one, since it's not a Sport, just has Intelligent, which is your normal in and around town, and then just has Sport, which is slightly increased. If this was a Sport, it would also have Sport Sharp. So it would have Intelligent and then Sport Sharp, which just gives it a little bit of an increased acceleration and stuff over this model. But overall, like I said, increase in horsepower and torque, 182 horsepower, 176 foot-pounds of torque. So definitely a fun, sporty driving car. Still not there, what it used to be with the turbo. Very sad to see that go, but overall, I think most people are going to be more happy with this than compared to, for example, a 2018 2.5i. So a lot of improvements there. We are still going to have the controls over here at 7 o'clock on the steering wheel to control our screen up there. We do now have the individual tire pressure, kind of telling us what our tire pressure is on each one. And since this is a Touring 2, I do have the heated steering wheel. Really seems to heat a little bit more of the steering wheel, not exactly just that 10 and 2 like it used to. Now, this being a Touring trim level does have the keyless entry and push to start, which means you're going to get a couple key features on the new Starling safety and security system with the utilization of the My Subaru app from your cell phone. So to kind of go over this real quick, the Starling safety and security system is up here. So we do have the blue I button that's going to be for Subaru roadside. The benefit of calling up through here versus just calling the 1-800 number is they know exactly where you are. The red SOS button's calling a different call center in New Jersey. That's going to be having a heart attack, I'm choking. They have the ability to send police, fire truck, ambulance, all that kind of stuff. Now, you're going to get this free for 3 years now, since this is a global platform car. And a couple new features, like I mentioned, since you have the keyless entry and push to start on this car, you're actually going to be able to do remote start from the My Subaru app under remote services. So it's going to be the first thing that pops up. You can do remote lock and unlock, remote horn and lights, remote vehicle locator, all which you could do last year. Now you're also going to have stolen vehicle immobilization in addition to the stolen vehicle recovery features. So the cool thing there is that while this is an upgraded option, it's very inexpensive, only about $75 for 3 years for all of that. And you can also set speed, curfew, and boundary alerts on that as well. So if you do have a teenage driver that's driving this vehicle, you can actually set up geographical boundary alerts and speed alerts that you'll get a message whenever they kind of go outside of that, which is really cool. There is also a new upgrade available, which is called the concierge level of the Starling safety and security system, and that's going to give you the ability to literally push a button on your car, contact the concierge service with the My Subaru app here, and they can actually call a restaurant, make reservations for you, call a hotel, make reservations, which is super, super awesome. And since this is the 3rd generation of the Starlink head unit here, this is the 8-inch one, same one we're seeing on the Ascent, all of your updates are going to be able to be done over the air via Wi-Fi. So if I do go into general settings here, I will see that it does have the Wi-Fi. It also has the ability of a Wi-Fi hotspot in the vehicle as well. So all of your kids in the back could be streaming their videos using the Wi-Fi in the vehicle, which is a huge, huge advantage there, not using up all that data and stuff. Now, like I said, this is the same head unit we're seeing in the Subaru Ascent right now. This is a Touring trim, so it does come with the map through TomTom. You'll get 3 years of free map updates with this. Super, super easy to use. We do actually do a very detailed review of this. If you look up the Subaru Ascent navigation video, you can check that out. But everything here we're seeing on the Ascent. We have the Starling and My Subaru apps here. We have the ability to add shortcuts, so you can put specific destinations and people's phone numbers as little icons here on the home screen. So we've done some reviews of this infotainment system, so we won't get too into that right now, but check out our other videos on that for more information. So as for over here, the controls that we're seeing, very similar to even the Outback and stuff that we have now. Even most of these were on the Forester. We do have the memory height function, the auto rear liftgate, but a new button that we're seeing over here are two things. We have the auto on-off button, which all Subaru Foresters will come with for 2019. So if you're at a complete stop, the car will actually turn off to help save fuel and reduce greenhouse emissions gases. And we also do have the facial recognition feature. Now, not all Foresters have this, actually, only the touring trim level is going to have this, but you have an extra little camera up here that actually is gonna recognize your face, and you can set up your driver profile to, when you get in the car, it scans your face, knows who's driving, will adjust the mirrors and everything, all of your radio presets, all based on who it sees hopping in there. The other thing that it's going to do is if you're distracted while driving, you're actually, it'll actually beep at you and give you a notification that you're doing that. So pretty cool here. We do still have the newer mirror here, a little bit larger than it used to be, and we also do have home link and the auto dimming mirror feature. Everything up here, slightly different redesign. These lights are a little different. We do have the LEDs in this one, but overall everything looks very similar up here. And the moonroof, like I said, I don't notice it to be any larger or smaller than it was last year. Now, the back seat definitely is a little bit more comfortable. I think the bolstering and everything on the seats is a little more comfortable. I don't really notice, though, any like drastic increase in legroom. There may be statistically, I don't really notice it. I've always thought that the Subaru Forester had really great legroom for its passengers. One thing I do notice, though, obviously I already mentioned the vents, the USB ports, and the heated seats back here. That is awesome. But we do actually have dual pockets here. And it looks like one of these is kind of designed for like a cell phone, possibly a mini tablet, magazines and stuff here. So definitely well thought out there. You know, kind of assuming kids and stuff are sitting back here, able to put kind of all their goodies here. Now, one of the things Subaru Forester's always been known for is this super wide opening door, very easy to get into. I don't think it's quite 90 degrees there, but definitely very, very wide opening, which also makes hopping up on this cool little new step here that they have easier for putting stuff up top, which is really nice. Now, we do have the folding center armrest here. I have the rear seats reclined a little bit. They go back about 15 degrees. This is the difference if they're not reclined, up a little bit. So that's a little bit like too straight up in my opinion. So I would usually want to most likely either go at least to the kind of that first locking position, if not all the way back. So there's like 2 recline positions there for you. We do have the comfortable center armrest here with 2 cup holders. We've got kind of this black piano key kind of outlined here with some satin chrome finish. I'm assuming that's probably a touring trim level specific thing. But overall, well designed. The door panels have also been redesigned, much sharper, much cleaner, way sportier looking. A lot of soft touch surfaces everywhere here. So just very, very clean look overall. As for headroom, I mean, I'm 6 foot. If I slouch, 6'1" if I'm standing up straight. Got a hat on here, but I'd say I've got at least 2, maybe 3 inches of headroom, so no issues whatsoever there. But overall, just a very, very comfortable cabin. Huge, massive windows. We do have the tinted rear windows, so these are tinted, as are these. Very common thing to do is what's called a tint match, where they'll tint the front ones too. But in terms of, you know, besides those extra convenience features and things, not a huge difference overall in terms of the comfort back here, besides, you know, the seats are slightly comfortable, but I don't think it's like, we've got double the legroom or anything like that. So overall, though, very, very comfortable. I love everything that they've done back here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have found this video to be helpful. Now, we currently have over 100 2019 Subaru Foresters currently in our inventory in all different trim levels and color options. So make sure to check us out at groovesubaru.com. Now, if you guys have specific videos that you'd like to see on the 2019 Forester, make sure to leave those in the comments and we'll make sure to check it out. If you like this video specifically, give us a like below and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time on Groove Subaru Today. Take care.